Hello, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. My name's Jake Tonkel. I'm running for San Jose City Council here in District 6. I have Jim and Alyssa on today to talk about Metro Ed, technical and trade school here in the city of San Jose that provides much needed resources to our students. I want to give them an opportunity to introduce themselves and tell us a little bit more about Metro Ed and what it does. We'll start with Jim, since Jim and I connected quite a few months ago when I was knocking on doors, and he was the first one to introduce me to this great program. Thank you so much, Jim. Thank you, Alyssa. Take it away, Jim.
Well, Jake, thanks for having us on your show. Yeah, I remember when you came door to door, and I hope your cauliflower ear is better after I talked your ear off about Metro Ed education, the need for career technical education, and of course, the robots are coming. So yes, thank you very much. I'm the president of the Metro Ed Foundation, and it's a 501c3 nonprofit charged with supporting and helping Metro Ed in things like branding and PR, fundraising, and finding resources in the community to support the 21 programs we have.
Awesome. And Alyssa, mind giving us a quick little introduction?
Certainly. Hi. Thanks for having us on your show. Alyssa Lynch, I'm superintendent at Metropolitan Education District. I've been there serving our community for 7 years. Been in career technical education for 28 years.
Awesome. And for both of you, explain a little bit about the specific programs that we have at Metro Ed. A lot of people might think, very specific welding or automotive, but I know you guys do a lot. Would you mind expanding a little bit more on what you guys offer?
Certainly. Well, we've been there for about 103 years, and we're the largest center in Northern California, and we cover over 11 different industry sectors. We serve 42 high schools here in the San Jose area, and so we have programs all the way from fashion merchandising, automotive, construction, medical assisting, pharmacy tech, mechatronics, law enforcement, firefighting, animation. And basically the students that come to us from our 6 districts, they pretty much know what they want to do, and they can't wait to get to our center and try on these programs for their career.
Jim, anything to add?
Well, yeah, basically we're in tune with industry. We teach kids the skills they're going to need to be successful in the workforce. So we work hand in hand with industry to make sure they have the entry level or beginning technical skills, soft skills that employers demand, and be in occupations that are going to be in demand in the future. So we're pretty much in tune with the needs now and in the future of the workforce.
And again, this is in place of traditional college, in place of community college. You work with high school students as well. And I know it's off of our set questions a little bit, but how would somebody go about finding out what programs are available at Metro Ed and when in their education might they transition over to you guys?
Okay, well, we actually start out introducing our programs to middle school students. They come over to our center, and we see about 10,000 students per year. They come by and they visit our programs from their home high school. And one thing that's really unique about our programs and what I think sticks in their mind so that they want to come back when they're sophomores, juniors, or seniors is that our programs are unique in the sense of the size of the classroom and the lab space. Our programs are 3 hours in length, and majority of our students are seniors, and it fits into their schedule, but we do have a lot of students that are also juniors, and they might take a medical assisting class 1 year and then try on a fire science class the next year and develop a career pathway. Again, we have a lot of students that know what they want to do. They've probably had a parent, an aunt, or an uncle that's been a firefighter, or maybe a teacher, auto mechanic. So they know what they want to do, and they can't wait to get to us. And once they get there, they take one class and then they take another. And so it does have dual enrollment, which means you can get college credit while you're in our program during high school. and these are considered electives.
Yeah, and then
Right.
of course the students can after high school, after they graduate from high school, usually they go half day to their home high school and half day with us, as Alyssa said, 3-hour program or 2-hour program. But afterwards, the world's open. They can go on to college, go on to apprenticeship programs, further training, and the good news is that, as Alyssa said, they're focused and they have a direction once they leave us, a career direction.
That's perfect segue into our next question. For the community, what is the importance of having a program like Metro Ed available to students? What extra space does it fill that maybe our current education system doesn't necessarily work for everybody?
Well, first I want to say that these are high-cost programs and they can't be replicated or duplicated on a high school campus. An example that I haven't mentioned would be veterinary science and the lab space that takes up, or something which is called truck mechanics. We have a very large diesel truck in that particular classroom. We have a fire truck in that classroom. We get a lot of donations. We have a lot of equipment. And it's a 3-hour class, 3 hours a day. So the in-depth look that you get into these programs, and then the hands-on experience can't be duplicated. Students can leave with about up to 11 different certifications. So they can either, as we mentioned, continue on to college, or they could go right into work.
Very cool. And now, unfortunately, the world that we're in, COVID-19 has affected us, and I'm sure it's affected you all as well. How have you guys been dealing with potential budget cuts? What other avenues for funding are you guys advocating for at the moment? I know Jim and I talked a little bit about some funding through the state, and we didn't get you guys on early enough to really talk through the state legislator process, but there might still be some time. Would you mind talking about that as well?
Well, that's a deep, passion of mine, talking about budget and education. I have to say that COVID itself has been a hardship on us. COVID has, at this point in time, it's got a price tag of about $800,000. And it's not just for us. We are a small school district, but every school district is struggling with the cost of COVID. It's almost unimaginable the amount of protocols that you need to implement and the cost of whether it's PPE or hiring somebody who's going to actually take the temperatures on campus, the signs, the stickers, you name it. It's hard to imagine unless you're living it every day. The price tag of the plexiglass, that industry must have skyrocketed. There's plexiglass and sneeze guards in every office, every classroom, everywhere you go. So that's the first part about budget. Our programs themselves are very costly because of the equipment that it takes, consumables. If you're in a medical assisting class, a veterinary science class, there's uniforms, supplies. As far as budget for us, so back in 2015, the state really changed how they funded schools. And we're not alone in struggling or having a loss in how the state decided to change that funding formula. So for many years, for 40 years, we were funded directly to our center. And then in 2015, they sent the funds that would fund our center directly to our school districts, who have to pass on funding to us. That's difficult simply because they have their own budget challenges. So we were in 2008, the first economic downturn, we were a $30 million business. And then in 2013, we dropped down to a $15 million business. And then we dropped down to 11, and that's when I started coming out and talking about this. And in Sacramento, the way they state this is simply that we're an unintended consequence. It's an outcome of something that wasn't supposed to happen. It's happened in Sacramento. I'm on a campaign to fix it in Sacramento, to go back and tell them what we need to do, because these programs are vital to our community, particularly with COVID, with trying to produce essential workers, again, firefighters, medical assistants. It's really important that these programs don't go away and that funding is taken very seriously.
Yeah, and Alyssa, we had to already cancel a couple programs, didn't we, for next year or this year, actually?
Yeah, actually, we canceled 2 programs this year. One was cybersecurity. The other one was one of the medical assisting programs, because we do have another teacher on medical assisting. So at least we're still offering it, but we just don't have 2 programs that are the same.
Yeah, and I just want to interject that the cybersecurity program, I mean, there is 0% unemployment in the cybersecurity industry. We have a couple industry heavyweights willing to help us build the program and build the front end of a cybersecurity talent pipeline. So the high school students would get some rough basic training, some basic skill sets, go on to maybe Merit College's cybersecurity program or San Jose State's, and we'd love to restore that. But we need the funding to do that. And we've got, again, the industry resources ready to help us do it. We just need the funding.
As someone who has lobbied in Sacramento before, I know it can be tough. Is there something you're looking for people to call in and support at this point? Try and bug their local legislators about? Tell people how they might be able to help if they think this is a good direction to advocate.
I think direct funding, if people can remember what that means and what it is that we're asking Sacramento to do. I have been working on this for several years, and this is our final year. We're going to go to Sacramento and we're going to say, you're going to fund us or you're not. And direct funding is what will keep us in business. If not, after that, it's 2022, 23. We won't be here anymore because our schools just can't afford to continue to pass on the dollars to us. So direct funding, those are the key words.
And after 103 years of producing essential workers through wars, depressions, that would be a shame. We really can't let that happen.
I would agree. And so let's jump into our next couple of questions, see what we can do to convince people that might be on the fence about advocating for this, why the programs you guys run are so important. You talked a little bit about cybersecurity. What kind of opportunities do you guys provide that are preparing people for the future workforce? We might have automation, robotics is going to be even more prevalent in all of our lives within the next 20, 30 years. What kind of training and opportunities do you have for people to get involved in those spaces?
Well, Jake, you and I talked about robots. They're coming. And there are 2 global heavyweights, McKinsey & Company, which is a global consulting firm for very large organizations, and PwC, one of the major accounting big 4. They both say that by the early 2030s, the United States may replace humans in 38% of jobs with robots. That's like 12 years from now. So the bottom line is, what can we do? Well, CTE, through organizations like Metro Ed, is perfectly set up to start new programs. We could start an AI programming course, AI software development, robotic technician, where they learn to repair robots and service them, keep them running. All these things are possible, again, if we have the funding. But without these types of training programs, can you imagine the impact in 12 years? And it's going to happen quickly. The robot revolution is going to happen extremely quickly. Can you imagine the impact in our society and our economy if all of a sudden 38% of the workforce is unemployed? So we have to do that now. And we've got the time. We've got CTE in place. Our community colleges, we start the students at the high school level and move them on to the community colleges for certifications. Maybe it's a 4-year university for going into medical assisting at a big level, becoming a PA or a technologist or a nurse. It's all in place. We can produce essential workers. We just need the funding. So, and I know it's in this upside down world that everyone has got to focus on today. We have some major problems. This is just not the normal thing. We've got problems we have to fix today, people we have to help today, but we cannot take our eye off the future. We have to have the foresight to develop CT and directly fund it. And then, of course, to be able to start these new types of programs. Like, again, our robotic course is great. Students there are learning how to program them, how to build them, how to service them. They're learning 3D printing. Those kids are ready to go off to college into a college level robotics program. So lots of hope. I'm confident, but we do need to get on it now.
As someone who absolutely loved growing up, I was put through the Lego robotics program in middle school that we had. I went on to get my engineering degree. I would agree with you. I mean, the way that we build lifelong fulfilling jobs and make sure we're ready for the future is to give everybody these skills that are going to be around a really long time and really needed. Alyssa, did you have something to add?
A couple of things. It's that I think that everybody thinks that there's one size that fits all and it's all go to college, and that there's something wrong is if you're going to try this on in high school. And I've been working really hard for many years to change that image or that culture. But to put it frankly, we supply over 200,000 employees in Silicon Valley. An example is simply if you go to the dentist and you ask them, where did you get your training? And they might say SVCTE for Silicon Valley Career Tech Ed Center. They might say Central County Occupational Center, which was our previous name. But we've been serving our community for a very long time. They call us up and say, do you have any students that are certified or ready to go in the HVAC area, heating, ventilating, air conditioning? And we do. And these are jobs that start at $90,000. So I think that people think that just because you're not going to college or you're interested in working in your hands, you're not going to have a good high paying job. A majority of our programs that we put them out in the community are starting at $60,000, and they continue to go to college because of us. I haven't made the point here that students increase their grade point average, they earn more money, and they go to college because of us. There's just a lot of data out there that has been forgotten about these particular programs. But a call to action would be for business partners to continue to step up. We've had a great business partner for the last 5 years, which is Cupertino Electric, with our electrical maintenance program. We couldn't ask for a better partner. They come over and they say, we'd like to take 5 of your students and give them an internship this summer. Or they come over and say, what do you need in your classroom? And we have a teacher who will have a wish list, and they'll say, okay, we'll be back, and they'll drop about $20,000 of equipment. And so that's another way for us to partner with local businesses, because they are receiving a pipeline of students that we have lined up that we can send to them that are already skilled. It's not like I just want to try this out. They've already gone through 360 or 540 hours of training.
That is a shout out to all the people that might watch this or watching this currently that have the opportunity to bug someone in their office, like, let's go help out these programs. So
and
thank
stay
you, Alyssa,
tuned,
Jim.
Because, I was gonna say, stay tuned. The foundation, the Metro Ed Foundation, is going to be reaching out to the alumni of all the 4 iterations of the Metro Ed programs, starting way back with San Jose Tech High and on to RVC, CCOC, SBCT. We're going to be looking for those alumni that are out there and successful and have success stories to share with our students. Maybe they're speakers in the classroom. As Alyssa said, maybe they have resources or equipment they can donate to a specific program. Or they want to join our board and help go out into the community and be part of our circle of influence to spread the word that Metro Ed is not your parents' vocational school. This is career technical education. It has evolved, and we're training students to work with AI, not be replaced by it. So they're going to have very successful careers, as Alyssa pointed out. And I always like to give this example. If a student graduates from regular high school with biology and chemistry, or one of our medical assisting students who graduates with medical terminology, physiology, has an internship in a medical office, and knows pace and procedures like taking blood pressure, who has a better chance of being successful in a nursing program or even pre-med? Clearly, it's our students. So that's what we offer. We do it best. And throughout the state, I would love to see career technical education grow and be funded throughout the state, heck, throughout the country for that matter.
I think that is an awesome vision. As someone who definitely grew up knowing that I wanted to work with my hands in some capacity, you don't always know where to go. And I think this is a great space for people. Again, kind of off our script a little bit, but I know you guys reach out to specific schools that might kind of, I wouldn't say might kind of be, but that are more underserved or the students might not be doing as well, and make sure you bring them in, because oftentimes it's not the student itself, but the curriculum doesn't fit everybody, and you guys have a unique curriculum. You mind talking about that for just a quick minute?
Yeah, absolutely. The students, like I said before, they know that they want to get here because this is what they want to do. And we have about 600 students that come from Eastside Union High School District. We have 300 from San Jose Unified, 300 from Campbell. And they change. I see them from the first day they step off the bus onto our campus. And they are, you might think of squirrely freshmen. You might think of the students that are, again, looking for something unique and different. They might have pink hair, blue hair. They might be shy. They get into our program and they're not with the rest of their home school. They flourish, they grow, they change, their skills develop, their language develops, they're confident, and they speak the language, they walk the talk, they just really, they shine, they flourish, become very different people. And again, it goes back to their grades improving. And I have to say that they're learning math, they're learning English, they're learning science, and they're just learning it in a different way. Our fire science program has so much science in it and so much chemistry in that. It's unbelievable the way that they can talk to you about flame retardant materials, all the exercises that they go through. And then again, just bringing it back to when they get hired from our program over at Santa Clara Fire Department, over in Milpitas, they can start out at $105,000. So it's simply because of the curriculum, which is the class that, or the word and what you asked us about. It's the curriculum, it's what they learn, what they spend time and hours on. They give back to the community. They work, with the fire department. They are doing Toys for Tots, all kinds of community services. And that's all built into the course outline in the curriculum.
And many of all of our instructors are industry professionals. So they have contacts in industries. And again, they teach the soft skills as well as the technical skills. My own son graduated from the fire science program there at Metro Ed when it was CCOC. He was never an A student in high school until he hit that program. He was so motivated by Phil Gonzalez, the instructor. And he went on to a very tough fire academy and graduated with a 92%. And this is a guy that worked 3 hours a day on homework to get maybe a 2.9 3-point average. So the motivation, and two words come out of the mouths of everyone who comes to our school and interviews the students or talks to them: blown away. I'm blown away by what the kids do, their motivation, their career focus, and their future vision.
Thank you both so much for jumping on today. I think this is really important. We have to have a diversity in our education system that works with all kinds of learners and people that have all different career paths and desires. I think Metro Ed is really important for that. Everybody watching, again, please, if you have the opportunity to bug an elected official or a CEO of a company and get them aware of what's going on, please do that for us so we can make sure not only do we help out during COVID and some of the challenging financial times, but that we get the word out there so that as things start getting back, we really have the opportunity to make these programs flourish. Jim, Alyssa, I will leave it to you for one or two last little comments, anything we didn't touch on you would want people to know, and then we'll close it off.
Go ahead, Jim.
Well, I was just going to say, metroed.net. Go there, take a look at the story. Click on the foundation link at the top. You'll see what we're doing, what our vision for the foundation is, and how we're going to support Metro Ed. And it also gives you clues on how you can help us to help Metro Ed.
And I would say a lot of people say that you're the best kept secret in town, and I don't want to be a secret. I just want everybody to know about us and how we can change their lives.
Exactly.
Perfect. Well, thank you both again. With that, everybody, Metro Ed, awesome programs. We need to keep this alive and healthy. Thank you all for watching, and reach out soon.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jake. Thank you, everybody.
Yes, thanks.